Hello, I'm Mike Hamilton. I'm over here at Lithia Toyota Reading, and today I'm going to do a review that I have not ever done before. Behind me is all three styles of Priuses that are built for the 2021 model year. I'm going to go over the differences between the models. I'll be right back. Normally I start my videos in the front and go over the front of the vehicle and talk about stuff in the front, but I'm going to go to the back of the vehicle because this is where we're going to see the differences in what the vehicles are as far as their badging, things like that. The three Priuses I have here, actually they're all the base model of each one, and I'm going to go over each one here. So this one is a standard regular Prius. This is the LE version. They don't badge the LE, but a 3 years ago, Toyota decided to change the Priuses and go with the traditional badging that Toyota uses for everything else, LE, XLE, and Limited. And they used to have different names like Package 1 to Package 4 for the regular Priuses. So this is a LE model. I don't have any higher trim packages because of the shortage in vehicles, so I'm lucky just to have all three of the models that are built. One of the things you're going to find is that this is the look of the back. That's going to be similar. They do come with the parking sonar, and I will talk about that a little later, why that is. But let's go over to the fuel mileage estimated range. And this is probably pretty conservative. But you're going to see this vehicle averages about 52 miles MPG. And I know customers have done much better than that when they when they take it real easy. There's also an L, which is an eco model. I don't have that one either, so technically there is a lower grade, and that thing is stripped down to be about 650 pounds lighter than any of the other regular Priuses, so that extends its fuel mileage up to 58 on the top end, but I've known customers get closer to 70 with that. Even Consumers Reports tested that thing getting 69 miles a gallon. MSRP on this one is $27,058. The next one over here just came out for last year's model year, 2020. They came out for the first time with a Prius as an all-wheel drive model. So it has electric little motors on each of the back wheels there, and up front I believe too. And this allows this vehicle to drive in snow and those kind of conditions. Again, it's got the same body design and appearance as the regular Prius. And it loses a couple miles per gallon because of the all-wheel drive option in it. So again, you're getting a little bit less fuel mileage by about 3 miles per gallon, as you see there. And then, of course, being all-wheel drive, that steps up the price just a bit. And this one here, next one over, is the Prius Prime. When they first came out with those in 2017, they were called the Plus, the Advanced, and the Premium. Now they're called the LE, the XLE, and the Limited. The difference, you could definitely see there's a difference there, and it's got this big swoosh in here. This happens to be for aerodynamics. That's part of what this model does, is get you that best fuel economy. It has if I recall, something like a 12 kilowatt hour battery versus the other ones just have a half a kilowatt hour battery. So this one has the ability to go up to 30 miles on electric before it runs into gas. This is the electric side where you plug in. It comes with the home charger here. It will charge itself up in 6 or 8 hours, but you get a little 100. I'm not going to open all this up, but there's a 120 volt electric charger in there. But one of the things you can see here, because of the larger lithium-ion battery that's sitting under here, that you lose trunk space on here because of that. Let's go over to the economy and the pricing of this vehicle here. And you're going to see if it gets to its best economy in MPGE, you could get up to 133 miles a gallon. I have not seen anybody get that, but my brother says on long trips he owns one and he can get up to something like 78, 79 miles a gallon. After the electricity runs out, it becomes a standard Prius, and we're going to have the gas only, which is similar into the other Priuses. Price wise, this actually comes in under the price of the all-wheel drive model. Now again, the all-wheel drive model is an XLE. That's the only grade it comes in. One of the things that I see that they don't do with this low level is they don't have a blind spot monitor in it. Let's go ahead and go to the front of the vehicle, and this is where it's way different in the front of this vehicle with these headlights here. So this is very similar to what you would see on a Tesla. That's what Toyota was trying to do, is compete with the Tesla there, of course. LED accent lights on the side, and LED, like these 4 lights here for high beams and low beams. Coming over to both the XLE all-wheel drive, which is this middle one here. We're going to have the regular headlights here, as you see, and then we have this kind of like a little tiny kind of accent. It's not nearly as good for this one here. And then we go over to the LE gas model, and we do not have anything on the side at all for accents, and we have the same HID headlights. I believe they do have some LEDs in this here, some LED accents that are kind of coming across right here for visibility and for looks too. Now, all 3 vehicles come with Toyota Safety Sense Plus, which gives you the some of the better stuff here. We got adaptive cruise control. This thing will slow down all the way down to 0 miles per hour and won't go again until you touch the brakes. We have our radar systems that are going to be behind that Toyota logo, and up on top we have our lane departure and steer assist for the camera and pedestrian detection as part of that up there. It doesn't have the lane trace assistance. I do not believe that is part of these Priuses as of yet. They still build these in Japan, and we're getting lane trace assistance on a lot of cars. They did not do that yet to this vehicle. And we have this same exact setup for this one here with a Toyota Safety Sense, and for the Prime with the Toyota Safety Sense. They have exactly the same things for each one of these vehicles as far as their what Toyota Safety Sense they have in all 3 of them. Coming into the Prime here, we're going to find typical stuff we find in every new Toyota: power windows, power locks, power mirrors. And then we're going to go over to the dashboard here, and then we're going to have our gauge dimmer, and this is our auto dimming high beams button. This is our charging button for recharging the 12 kilowatt hour battery, so you could get that 30-mile range. This is your gas release. Traction control is part of this here. So let's go ahead and get inside this one, and let's go over some of the features that are available to this vehicle. Everyone gets this display, and it's kind of confusing because Toyota does have what's called a heads-up display in the high level, where they put a hologram up here like the Limiteds get, and you can see your speedometer and your lane trace assistance. But this has this turned to color after 2015 and 2016 model year. Turn the AC down a little bit here. So we have things on this screen here. You can see how the vehicle is getting its charge. Let me see if I can figure it out. There we go. So it shows you in color how the vehicle is getting a charge for its battery, and it's right now it's trying to fill up the battery because we don't recharge these batteries before we sell them. We don't have any place to do that. And then it gives you that same little display up there with like your driving modes. Right now it's in park. I wanted to put it in drive. That's something that's different about these two. They have almost like a joystick, and it goes back to a neutral setting. So I'm going to put my foot on the brake and then put it in drive, and then that shows me up here I'm in drive. If I put it in reverse, it's going to turn on our backup camera. Because these vehicles are so quiet, they have a backup siren, so you can know which direction you're going in. And then right here we have a brake mode, which is what I can tell you about brake mode. It's not going to let me do that right now, but what that does is it recharges the hybrid battery a lot faster. It's kind of like a Jake brake for a hybrid. So if you're going down a hill, you can put in that B mode. The electric motor reverses this polarity and starts recharging the hybrid battery quickly, and then holds the vehicle back so it doesn't keep coasting and going faster and faster and faster. We have all our steering wheel controls are all going to be the same in each one of these 3 cars. We have the old way of viewing cruise control, which is on the toggle that's underneath here, and then you set that, and then we go to the screen that has the cruise control and right here. So the lane departure wasn't on, now it's on. Get to that screen I just had on. So it shows you up here, lane departure, and then you have adaptive cruise control. And again, this is adaptive cruise control on this one here. We'll go all the way to 0 miles an hour. So 3 bars is for 3 seconds, 2.5 and 2 seconds. Digital miles per hour is huge on this here. It gives you your fuel economy. That could be reset. It's only got 7 miles on it, so we really haven't got a fuel economy on this yet. I like how we got hard buttons and then touch screen at the same time. So we have our home screen here. This is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capable on this vehicle. We also have Sirius XM radio. These are all the base stereo systems. So let me just go ahead and do this one here. As I go over the differences, I'm not going to go play the stereo on each one because it's all the same. So let's turn this up. Alright, let's turn that off. So if we were in a higher level right here, this pad just for your electronics is called a Qi wireless thing there, and it looks different than that. You put your phone, push a button, it charges. That's kind of not really new technology now. Right here we have our electric vehicle button on here. So this will, if you're in EV mode only, so you could run it in electric vehicle mode, auto, electric vehicle mode, that's forced into it. Then you have different driving modes. So it has a regular, so we have our normal, we have our power and our eco for our best fuel economy. That's all part of this here. You got an electric parking brake on here, or not parking brake, just parking it. And then there's an actual push with your foot for setting an emergency brake on this here. Being that this is the Prime, you're getting standard heated seats even on the lowest level of the vehicle. So we have 2-stage heated seats. We have our cup holders here, and again, every one of these is going to have this smart or proximity key. And see where it says AC on. So you could push that button when you have the hybrid battery, the 12 kilowatt hour battery. You'll be able to cool down the vehicle through this button here, because you could turn on that AC pump. And then you have your primary port here for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and charging your phone. And also because it has the way this is set up, these Priuses have this incredible heat exchange thing. So they heat exchange from the catalytic converter, and like almost instantly does a Prime will actually, like, the heat will start coming out of the heater like within like 5 seconds of turning it on, which is incredible. Unlike a regular car, is going to take probably a couple minutes or so before the car's warm enough to start putting enough like real heat through the heater for you. Coming up on top, it's pretty basic on here. We have our basically our reading lights and dome lights up here, and then you have your SOS button. SOS is like basically OnStar for Toyota, so it does emergency services, roadside assistance, stolen vehicle locator. The higher levels will get an app that could like remotely start the vehicle and heat it up or cool it down, roll up the windows, check the fuel levels, unlock the car if you had a lockout. That's all part of this package. This is the cloth interiors. Now we go to the XLE, you'll get a synthetic leather. We'll be over that in the next car. And then the Limiteds will have that synthetic leather also with a driver's power seat available. The one thing is missing that I can't show you, the highest levels of all, well, not the all-wheel drive, but the highest levels of the Prime, middle grade XLE and the Limiteds get a almost 12-inch screen. I'll show that in this slide right here. That is not offered in the all-wheel drive model, as they only have one trim package, which is the XLE. So let's go ahead and go over to the XLE, talk about that next. Okay, so let's go ahead and just like talk about both the XLE all-wheel drive and then the LE regular. Wait for this truck go by. Thinks he's cool because he's still loud. We get these and we put the all-weather cargo liner in there, and that comes up the backrest. These are what these for, so they stick on the back, so the whole thing is there. We have more space now because we don't have a big old giant battery inside there. Again, and then we get our all-weather floor mats. That's in this big box here. And then let me go underneath here. So you just have a compressor and a goop pump in there instead of having your spare tires. So that's to help with the weight of the vehicle. They give you the privacy cover or tonneau cover here to keep the so people can't see in there and take inventory, since you have a big hatch. And these surprisingly are large. You could put like a whole mountain bike inside this or something. I had a 15 Prius for a while, and I could put my whole mountain bike in when I laid down the seats. It's surprising when those seats are down how much room you have. And then it's just easy to fold these seats down, and they fold to basically flat. So I'm not going to do the other side, but really simple. You get a couple USB ports, but see how we got the synthetic leather in this one here, what's called Softex, and this is one of the nicer synthetics out. And Toyota's kind of going away from the regular leathers in most of their cars because of like grips like PETA, but also this is much more durable. It doesn't stain, it doesn't crack and get wearing out by the sun, and it actually on a hot day stays about 10 degrees cooler than natural leathers would stay. Alright, let me go inside, let me show you some of this stuff. Oh, we do get blind spot monitors on this one because it is an XLE. That's hard to see, but yes, blind spot monitors are in this one here. Again, proximity keys mean I could lock the vehicle if I just touch these notches. It's screaming at me because it knows the key's inside. Alright, so I don't have the key outside with me. And then coming the inside. Now, if this was the next level up, which would be the standard one, we're going to have a power seat. This is still a manual seat. Again, same lock. It says we got still nice soft materials. There is some hard plastics in here. This is soft, and this is hard. But one of the things that is different here, this has reverse parking assist and parallel parking assist on this. That's what that sonar is for. That is on this model, and this is on the also the regular model too. It's not on the Prime because they're using those buttons for the charging ports for the charging button for that Prime there for the plug-in version of the vehicle. So, and then inside here it does come with our Qi wireless charging pad there. So we do have the charging pad for our cell phone right here. That's a real cheap option now. There's $30 options that you can put into a cup holder, put here, and then the phone grabs it. My brother has one for his older Prius. It's real simple. So, but the one thing we are missing is that nice larger 11.9-inch screen that you would get with the highest levels of the Prime, the middle level, and the highest level, and then the limits will get that in the regular model too. You get that big almost 12-inch screen there. This one now we're missing a button here because we don't have a permanent electric, so you can run up to maybe a mile or two at crawl speeds, 20 miles an hour, stop and go traffic. Like I say, we're going up to the Bay Bridge and waiting for the toll plaza. You could crawl this thing if you don't have your air on and stuff and do that. But we do have our same drive mode button here. Again, it's going to give you those features here. Digital miles per hour, all this Toyota safety sense. So this one does have a heated steering wheel on it too, which we did not have any other one there too. So parking assist, heated steering wheel, synthetic leathers, and then we go up to the top. This is exactly the same as the last Prius. All this is exactly the same as last Prius. We have the same sound system. Now you got a map button on here. That map button is for, it's not integrated maps, but we could do our maps through our Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We could use Google or Waze maps are available to this vehicle. Heated dual stage seats are on this one here. We just have storage in here. There's no power ports in here. Again, this is our primary port. We have another 12 volt port. Compatible cell phones, which pretty much all new cars or new phones are compatible to this. I do like some of the materials they're using. Hard plastics going away. You still got some up here, but this is soft touch. We got the nice gloss black finish, push start, of course. Priuses since day one have been that, except for a Prius C. And then you get the, just a nice fit and finish, a nice decent sized glove box here. Just well put together. Still one of the best fuel economy vehicles out there. This is what started it all. Was this vehicle was the Prius. Prius started in '97 in Japan, came to the United States. I believe that was in I think on maybe 2001 or 2003. And a couple other things we have in this one being a middle level. We're getting an auto dimming rear view mirror with your garage door home link memory sets that are available to this vehicle. Again, middle and high levels will see that vehicle, see that in it. Again, this is the middle level and the only level offered in an all-wheel drive. Let's go ahead and go over to the LE regular Prius. Be right back. All right, coming to the LE Prius here. Still all the basic meat and potatoes. Oh, one of the things I forgot to mention, the first couple years they came out with that Prime. They didn't have a fifth seat in the back. This console, we're not in the Prime, but it was like a hard console there. You couldn't sit anybody there. They changed that as of 20. So 17, 18, 19, then 20, they came up with that, took that center console out and put that fifth seat there. So, because that was a complaint. Seat pocket backs for your passengers to put their stuff in, your kids. Again, we have our Toyota Safety Sense. We have our parallel parking assist and reverse parking assist. Now, I call that an assist because it kind of does it. It doesn't do it perfectly. So it gets you pretty close, but you may need to do a little bit of steer correction to get you perfect. Let's go ahead and go inside this one here. And again, we're dealing with the same basic design of this vehicle, same type of stuff. Now, again, this is all the same. This is all the same here. We do not have a heated seat in this one here, or heated steering wheel, so we do not have heated seats either. So, and then we had a charging pad in that XLE, and you would get that in the XLE Prime and the Limited Prime, and then of course in that an all-wheel drive model that's offered here. But all this stuff here is exactly the same. This is all exactly the same. The interior configuration is exactly the same. This is exactly the same. So asking yourself, what is the right Prius for you? Being in my San Francisco regional district, this one has a lot of money off. You probably will do better on an LE Prime right now as far as rebates, and then it also has tax credits available still, unlike Tesla's use all their tax credits up. So there's $4,500 as of this video from Toyota in regional discounts through Toyota. Now that's regional, so each region has their own different programs for this. So here it's pretty big, and then up to, there's $1,500 state tax credit and up to $4,500 in federal tax credits. You have to pay enough taxes to get that money back from the feds. I think the $1,500 is automatic. So this makes this quite a deal right now. So you could be looking at the $4,500 off automatically, $1,500 for the state automatically, and then you have your $4,500 up to, depending on how much you're paying into your taxes. Again, this is the only way this XLE all-wheel drive comes. You can only buy it in this trim, and there's not going to be any tax credits. You lose a bit of fill mileage, but again, it's capable of being in situations like slick snow and ice and stuff like that, so that makes it an interesting vehicle to have a car that with all-wheel drive. And then this one here has levels of this vehicle that we don't I don't have the ability to show you. Like, this is the model that offers a sunroof on its highest level, so I can't remember, but it's either the Limited gets it automatically or it's a Limited with a sunroof option. But one of these regular Priuses will give you that option to have a sunroof on it. So that's something you like. You like sunroofs, then you'll have to be in the regular Prius. And if you want an all-wheel drive, that's your only Prius. And then if you like that 11.9 inch screen, you'll have to be in a Limited in this one here. This is not going to be available to this one. And then if you want that 11.9 inch infotainment screen in the Prime, you could do it on the XLE mid-grade, and it will have it in the Limited too. No sunroof option on these Primes, so this is the something you won't get. And again, it doesn't have that parking assistance, which I think is kind of bogus anyways. I've tried it. It's not easy to use. It's kind of just does it, but it doesn't do it like really that great. All right, here we are. You probably can't just tell what I'm in, but I'm in the Prime. I would want the high level of the Prime, so I would want the Limited. I want the fuel economy. I could get to and from work without having to run on gas, about 8-9 miles away from where I work. So I could run up to 30 miles on a charge, and I would not have to run any gas. Like, my brother has a much longer commute. He runs about 45 miles, or no, he's 45 minutes, 45 miles, something. He lives near Orlando, but he lives in the burbs and drives into Orlando every day. Says it just barely kicks into gas as he gets in to work. Maybe it's 30 miles or so, and then he recharges at work. So he says he could go just about a month before he has to refill. And kilowatt hours, most areas of the country, is super cheap. Even in Redding and expensive California, it's not too bad. So people are worried about, oh, it's going to come run my electricity bill. It's nothing, man. It is absolutely nothing compared to the $4 per gallon you're spending on gas here in California, and expected to go higher. So this is one of these reasons why these vehicles are popular, and they're coming back around again. Look at this. I'll turn the camera around and show you this. I got my coworker there showing Priuses, pointing at me, and I will let him get over to these Priuses as I'm finishing up this video. All right, y'all, take care. Bye.